Start. Climate is the most important natural element on the earth after the cooling and solidification of earth's surface. This is a theory that every other natural element on the earth is affected by climate. Not only natural elements, but all human activities are also controlled by the climate. We can see this practically. In practical, we see with the change of season, we change our clothes, we change our even way of shelter, and even just we see experience in change of our food, our diet, our all human activities are controlled by the climate, we can say. So in practical, we say when we see in winters that we change our clothes. Even in winters, our food items are different than summers. So these are some of the practical examples which are related with the influence of climate on human activities. Now question is, what is climate? Meaning of climate. With the meaning of climate, we need to understand meaning of weather. Climate and weather. So in simple way, we can say first let us learn what is weather. Weather is the general atmospheric condition on a particular place at a particular point of time in terms of its element. Again you listen, weather is the general atmospheric condition on a particular place at a particular point of time. And what are these elements of weather? In terms of these elements, when we talk about elements of weather and climate. Number one, temperature. Number two, air pressure. Number three, winds. Number four, humidity. And number five, precipitation. So, meaning of weather in these, in respect to these weather elements, we have to understand. So, once again, let us understand weather is the general atmospheric condition on a place at a particular point of time in terms of its temperature, air pressure, winds, humidity, and precipitation. Important feature of weather, that weather is for a particular place and from place to place it changes. Suppose weather conditions of Delhi and weather conditions of uh, Ghaziabad, two neighboring cities, can be different. At a particular point of time in Delhi, there can be cloudy weather, but in Ghaziabad, this can be a rainy weather. Or even in Delhi, this is a cloudy weather, that can be a sunny weather at Ghaziabad. So this on particular place it can change, and particular time also. Just like in the morning in Delhi there can be sunny weather, but in the evening there can be cloudy weather and even there can be rainy weather. So on a particular place and particular time it can change. These are the main features of weather. And now we have to understand what is climate. Climate is the average weather conditions, means average weather conditions we have to study for a long period, and this study of average weather conditions is done minimum up to 30 years or more. For 30 years period or more period, we have to calculate the average of weather conditions, and then we decide the climate of a particular area or particular place or particular region. And this study of average weather conditions is mainly done in terms of temperature and precipitation. In terms of temperature and precipitation. And as we know, the most important form or most common form of precipitation is rainfall. So we can say in terms of temperature, in terms of rainfall, in terms of humidity, we have to study the weather conditions, and then after a long time of study, the average conditions we calculate, and then we decide the climate of a particular area, particular place or particular region. Let us understand here the making of weather and making of climate is done by the elements of weather and climate. And we should be very much clear that elements of weather and climate are common. These elements are common, and with the interrelationship of these elements, the climate and weather of the place is made, is created. So most important is to understand the interrelationship of these elements of weather and climate. Let us understand this. These elements of weather and climate, their relationship, temperature, and the link with next element, air pressure. Temperature make the air pressure, and then relation of air pressure and winds, and then winds to humidity, and then humidity and precipitation. So this interlink of these elements and regular effect of these elements with this interlink make the climate of any place. Now let us understand this interlink. With this figure, suppose this is one area, and in this area temperature is high temperature. Other area temperature is low. So in this example, we will understand the relationship of elements of weather and climate. One pocket we have high temperature, other pocket we have low temperature. Then what will be the effects? High temperature means hot air This is very simple to understand. If in any particular area there will be high temperature, then in that particular area air will be hot. And hot air means light air. This is simple fact to understand that if air is hot, then it will be light air. So in the area where temperature is high, there will be hot air, and hot air will be light air. Then tendency of light air, what will be there? Light air means expands or rise. This will be the tendency in light air. If in any particular area, in particular region or in particular pocket, air is light, and this light air is due to high temperature, this air will have the tendency either rise up or expansion. When the air in that particular area having the tendency of expansion or rise, it means in that particular area pressure will be low, and result will be low air pressure, because in this particular pocket the air is leaving this area, either it is ascending up or it is expanding inside. So end result of high temperature is low air pressure. High temperature, low air pressure. So now we can say in temperature and air pressure, the relationship is inverse. Inverse relationship. If temperature will be high, air pressure will be low. Temperature is high, air pressure will be low. Now we will see the example of other area. Low temperature means cold air. Cold air means heavy air. Due to low temperature in that particular area, air will become cold, and cold air will have the tendency of greater weight. So this air will be heavy air. So cold air means heavy air, and heavy air will have the tendency to sink down. Heavy air will always sink down, or this air will be accumulated, accumulation of air. Accumulation of air. So in that particular place, particular area, particular region, air will be accumulated, air will be sitting down, air will be sinking down, and when this tendency will be there, the air will have register a greater weight in that area, and net result will be high air pressure. High air pressure. So air pressure in that pocket, in that region, in that area will be high. So you will see again the inverse relationship. Temperature is low, air pressure is high. Low temperature, high air pressure, and high temperature, low air pressure. So now our end result is in the high temperature area, low air pressure is created, and in low temperature area, high air pressure is created. So this relation, this interlink, we have registered now here. This interlink or relation is registered. High temperature, low air pressure, and low temperature, high air pressure. Now, next interlink. We have now two pockets. This pocket is of high air pressure and other pocket is of low air pressure. And once again, we have to understand it, that is, this high air pressure area is due to low temperature in this area, and this low air pressure is due to high temperature in this area. Now, how this air pressure will be affecting the winds? Air pressure and winds. This relation we have to register now. Air pressure and winds. High air pressure means air is always under pressure. There is greater accumulation of air, and in this pocket always the air will be in under pressure. But in low pressure area, because this area, air has left this area, either it has expanded or it has ascended. So in low pressure area there is emptiness in the atmosphere. Emptiness in the atmosphere. So this air from high air pressure area, a general tendency will be here, it will move towards low pressure area. This is general tendency, because air is more, accumulation of air is more, air is under pressure, and it is easily getting the way towards the low pressure area where there is emptiness in the atmosphere. So we can easily register this relationship, that air always move from high pressure area to low air pressure area. Air always move from high pressure area to low air pressure area, and this horizontal movement of air, horizontal movement of air is known as winds. This is the important fact to be understood here. Horizontal movement of air is known as winds, and this horizontal movement of air is always from high pressure area to low pressure area. So in the environment or between the two regions, this is the relation between winds, movement of air, always from high pressure area to low pressure area. So this relation we have registered now, air pressure and winds. How are they interrelated to make the climate and weather in any region? But this we have understood only the horizontal movement of air, but air can move air movement is also vertical movement. So this vertical movement of air and horizontal movement of air is different, and this movement of air from up to low or low to up is known as air currents. So this fact we should understand, this difference we should understand, that air can move vertically and air can move horizontally. So horizontal movement of air is wind, and vertical movement of air in the atmosphere is air currents. And this vertical movement is also due to the natural factors. Suppose in this area the pressure of air in the upper atmosphere is more, and at the surface the air is moving due to the pressure of the air in the upper atmosphere. So this movement of air is air current. In the same way, in this area on the surface, because there is always such conditions that air is heating up and it is rising up, and this vertical ascent of air is known as air current here. So these two characteristics of movement in air, we should understand: horizontal movement, winds, and vertical movement, air currents. Now next, our relation between winds and humidity. How this relation will be registered? Winds and humidity. We take two areas. Suppose this is the area of water and this is the pocket of land, or you can say continent, and this we can say ocean. This is very simple fact how the relation between winds and humidity is registered. If air is moving from this area, from any direction, and definitely this will move towards the area of low air pressure, because this wind or this air is coming from continent. Continent means land where water is not there. So this air will be having low amount of humidity. Low amount of humidity. And in other area, if this air is moving from oceans, and definitely from oceans also it will be moving towards low pressure area. High pressure area on ocean and will be moving towards low pressure area. So when this air and this wind is coming from water body, so this air is having high amount of humidity. Because it is coming from water body, it will be having high amount of humidity. And now other important fact is easily registered: relation between humidity and precipitation. Simply we can say this air which is coming from ocean with higher amount of humidity, it will cause precipitation, it will cause rainfall. But this air coming from continent which is not having humidity, low humidity or no humidity, suppose you can say here no humidity. So with no humidity or very less amount of humidity, it will not cause rainfall. But this air coming from ocean, high humidity, will cause rainfall. So this fact is registered. Here no rainfall, or precipitation, and here will be high rainfall conditions. So this last relation with the elements of weather and climate is very well registered: humidity and precipitation. So this is very important to understand the relation between the elements of weather, to understand the climate of a particular place or particular area or particular region. The relation between, the link between the element of weather and climate. So important fact, we should understand that climate is the natural system of air pressure element, because air pressure will create the winds from high to low, and these winds will decide the amount of humidity. As if they are coming from ocean, they will be bringing humidity, and if they are coming from land, they will not be bringing humidity, and ultimately these winds coming from ocean or from land, they will decide the amount of rainfall. Amount of rainfall. So one thing is to be understood here in these elements of weather and climate. We discussed that temperature is known as the root element. Root element of climate, and fruit element, fifth element, that is precipitation. Precipitation, that is fruit element, means end result of the interlink of elements of weather is precipitation. And once again, let us see, to understand the climate of any area, we have to understand the average conditions of these two elements, temperature and temperature and precipitation. What is their conditions? Now, to understand the climate of particular region or particular area, we have to understand certain factors, means factors factors that control or affect or govern or make the climate of any area. Make the climate of any area. Factors that make or that affect or that govern the climate of any area. What are these factors? Number one, most important factor is latitude. Latitude or nearness to equator or poles. This is first and dominating factor which make the climate or affect the climate of any particular area. Latitude, nearness to equator or poles. Then factor number two, altitude. Altitude. Altitude or height above the sea level. Altitude or height above the sea level. And third important factor is pressure and wind conditions. Pressure and wind conditions. And other factor is distance from sea, distance from sea. And next factor is that control the climate of any area, that is E, ocean currents. And ultimately last factor A, B, C, D, E, F. Last factor is relief. So these 6 factors control the climate of any place, any area, or you can say these factors make the climate of any area or any region or any particular place. Now one by one we will understand the role of these 6 factors. Here one point to be understood, that in a particular region one factor can be playing dominating role and other factor may be playing less important role. Suppose in any area latitude is most important and dominating role is played by latitude, but in other particular area over latitude the relief factor can be having control, means most important role can be played in that particular area by the relief features or relief. Now one by one these factors we can understand. So first factor is latitude. Latitude or distance from the equator or distance from the sea level. One point is to be understood here, when we study one factor, suppose we are studying here latitude one factor, we have to examine the role of latitude, number one, on temperature, the most important element of weather and climate, and number two, the role or the effect of latitude on precipitation, precipitation or rainfall, the most important form of precipitation. So latitude of a particular place or location of a particular place or region near to the latitude, near to the equator or near to the poles, or in which latitude that particular place or area is located, it will decide the climate of that region. Suppose this, you see equator, 0 degree latitude, equator, and here north pole, 90 degree latitude, 90 degree latitude, 0 degree latitude. Then how we will understand this? The well registered fact is that on equator throughout the year temperature is high. Throughout the year on equator temperature is high due to the vertical rays of the sun. Throughout the year vertical rays of the sun are falling on equator, so temperature is high. This is the well registered fact. And as we move from equator towards the poles, in this diagram towards the north pole, as we move from equator towards the poles, temperature decrease. Temperature decrease. This is general tendency on the globe. the temperature decrease as we move from equator towards North Pole. So we can easily register this fact that a country located near equator will experience hot climate, tropical climate, or high temperature. A place located near equator will be experiencing high temperature, and the countries or places located near the pole, they will be experiencing low temperature. Very well, you can see the example of Greenland. Greenland, this island is towards the North Pole, located near North Pole. So throughout the year experiences low temperature, covered by ice and snow, and this is the effect of location of this island near the pole or away from the equator. But the countries like Sri Lanka, like South India, Andaman and Nicobar Islands in India, the country like Indonesia, all these countries are equatorial countries. So temperature in these countries throughout the year is high. Thus they experience tropical climate, hot climate. So this is the control of latitude on the climate of these areas. Now, this is the relation of location and temperature. Now, we will see the relation of location and air pressure. So, these countries near the equator, they are also experiencing high rainfall. Rainfall is high. Why rainfall is high? Because in these areas, evaporation rate throughout the year is high. Temperature is high, evaporation rate is high. When evaporation rate is high, there will be availability of water in the atmosphere, and ultimately this availability of water in the atmosphere will cause the rainfall, high rainfall. So general tendency is, as we move from equator towards pole, this is general tendency. Particular case can be different, but in general trend, when we move from equator towards the pole, rainfall is low. Amount of rainfall is low. So latitude is affecting both the elements of climate here, temperature as well as precipitation. And as we have already learned that to understand the climate of any place and area, we have to examine it in relation to temperature and precipitation. So due to location of any place, any area, any country, we can see the climate is affected. Very well registered fact, you can say the climate of North India and South India is different. North India, temperate climate, and South India, tropical climate. Temperate means in North India, we have the experience of well-developed winters and well-developed summers. But in South India, we experience only summers. No winters in South India. No winters in South India. And this is the effect of latitude or location of South India near the equator. Now, second factor is altitude. Altitude or height above the sea level. Height above the sea level. As you know, we should know this, that height of any place or height of any area, height of any mountain peak is measured from the sea level. So sea level is the lowest level on the earth surface. Now see how altitude or height above sea level is affecting the climate of any place. Here mainly we will see the role of altitude on temperature. Role of altitude on temperature. And what is this role? That as we move from Earth's surface up to the higher altitude, the temperature is decreasing. This is general tendency all over the world. When from Earth's surface we move upward, temperature of a place is decreased. Why? This fact is because our Earth's surface is heated by the sun. When insolation is there, heat of the sun is coming, our atmosphere is not heated by this direct insolation, but this insolation is hitting Earth's surface. Or in other way you can understand that atmosphere is mainly heated by the heat released by the Earth's surface. After heating, when Earth's surface releases its heat, then our atmosphere is heated. So the lower portion of atmosphere near the Earth's surface experience high temperature, and as we move upward, temperature decrease. Temperature decreases as we move from Earth's surface towards the higher altitude. Temperature is decreasing, and even this decrease rate is also decided. This decrease rate is at every 165 meters, 1 degree centigrade temperature is decreased. This is average rate of decrease from Earth's surface. As we move 165 meters high, 1 degree centigrade temperature will be reduced, and in geographical terms this is known as normal lapse rate. Normal lapse rate. Normal lapse rate. This should be understood in a very simple way. At every 165 meters, as we will rise up 1 degree centigrade, temperature in the atmosphere will be decreased, and it is known as normal lapse rate. We can understand this very easily by the location of two important cities in North India. Location of two important cities in North India. You know Dehradun. And you know near Dehradun, other city is not much away, that is Mussoorie. Dehradun and Mussoorie. With this location of the two cities, we can see the latitude of the two cities is not different. Suppose Dehradun is located in, we can say, suppose 32 degree north latitude. Mussoorie is also near 32 degree north latitude. So location of the two cities in terms in relation to equator or poles is almost same, but temperature difference between the two cities is around 10 to 15 degree centigrade. 10 to 15 degree centigrade temperature difference. Here is high temperature and here is low temperature. High temperature, low temperature, and simple reason is because Dehradun is located in a valley. on plains and Mussoorie is located in the hills. Height of Mussoorie is more than the height of Dehradun. So this is the effect, direct effect upon the temperature of the two cities. In the same way, temperature of two areas we can experience, just like Himalayas and northern plains in North India. Northern plains high temperature, Himalayas low temperature. So this is the effect of altitude upon temperature, and even this effect on rainfall or precipitation can be observed. And simple observation, in Mussoorie there is snowfall, and in Dehradun no snowfall, there is only rainfall. So difference in the form of precipitation. Mussoorie snowfall and Dehradun rainfall. This is also due to the altitude. Even amount can also be different with the altitude. So this is second important factor which control and make and govern the climate of any place or any area. Now let us come to the third factor, pressure and winds. So third factor is pressure and winds. We have already learned the role of air pressure and winds. How pressure and winds will affect the climate. Suppose you see, just see a simple sketch of South India. In winters, in North India, this area, North India, temperature is low. When low temperature will be there, air pressure will be high. But in the same season, on equator, near equator, in Indian Ocean, there will be high temperature. High temperature means low air pressure. High temperature means low air pressure on equator or on Indian Ocean or to the south of India. And in North India, low temperature and high air pressure. Low temperature resulted high air pressure, and here is high temperature resulted into low air pressure. So simple geographical phenomenon will be there, that air from high temperature will move to, air from high air pressure area will move to low pressure area. Winds from North India will move towards South India. So when these winds, suppose this direction of wind may not be this may be the direction of wind, or this may be the direction of wind here. So these winds, due to high pressure, are moving from land to sea. Land to sea. So these winds will not cause rainfall, and hence in the area there will be dry conditions. Rainfall will not be there. But see the fact, these winds when moving in this area, You know this is Bay of Bengal. Bay of Bengal. This air is moving from Bay of Bengal, and now this has the moisture air. So these winds or this air pick up moisture from Bay of Bengal, and when these winds strike to the eastern Ghats here, the coastal plains of Tamil Nadu, which is known as Coromandel coast. In this coast, when these winds strike to eastern Ghats, they cause rainfall. So this is due to the winds, because these winds have pick up moisture from water body, and in this area there is rainfall. But in other areas rainfall is not there. So this is the role of pressure and winds. And winds when come from high pressure area but coming from dry areas, coming from continent, coming from land, they will not cause rainfall. But other situation can be seen in the same example, in the same area. In India, in summers, summer season, in North India, temperature is high. High temperature. In North India, temperature is high. And definitely, this is well registered fact. High temperature means low air pressure. Low air pressure. This is the situation in summers, particularly in the month of May and June. And comparatively on Indian Ocean, air pressure is high. In comparison to North India, air pressure is high in Indian Ocean near equator. So the air from Indian Ocean moves towards the Indian subcontinent, and when this air coming from Indian Ocean, it is having huge amount of water vapor, huge amount of water, and this water is causing rainfall in the entire country. पूरे देश में इससे रेनफॉल होता है. In entire country, rainfall is caused. So this is due to the effect of air pressure and winds. Because winds in this example are coming from water body, from Indian Ocean, and this wind is bringing moisture, huge amount of moisture, and this wind is causing rainfall in the entire subcontinent. So this effect upon rain. So in this example we can see the effect on rainfall. Main effect of pressure and winds we have seen here on rainfall. Temperature is also affected, but on temperature effect is comparatively poor, but upon rainfall effect is dominating. So these are the three important factors we learned to control the climate of any place or any area. ठीक है बाबू, 6 बज गए.